All right, folks, here we are again. This is Cliff with High Performance Archery, and we're getting ready to do another in our line of tech tips. What we thought we'd talk about today was draw length and getting set up for draw length and determining draw length. And we've got Alex here with us today. And Alex, is this your first bow?
Yeah.
And have you shot before?
Once.
So we're just kind of getting started in the process here, and we're going to try to determine your draw length. That's kind of the first thing we want to do, is make sure that your draw length and your draw weight are comfortable for you when you first get started. If you get too short or too long a draw length, too long being far worse thing than too short, but too much draw weight and too much length, draw length, and that combination it makes for the whole thing not be as pleasurable as it could be. And the main thing is to have fun when you're shooting. You definitely want to make sure that that bow fits you and that you shoot it well from the start, and it'll just make the whole thing a whole lot more enjoyable. So one of the things we want to do is get a good idea of where to start with your draw length. And one of the ways we do that is we will measure your wingspan. Gives us a real good idea. Then we'll draw the bow and see where that sort of fits you. We'll use just an arrow that has some markings on it to get an idea on where to cut your arrows once we've completed that whole process. But we've pretty much got the bow set up at this point, except for checking your draw length. So that's what we're going to try to do now. Okay, so here we are. We've just kind of started the process, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the fact that your form will affect your draw length and how you determine your correct draw length. Your form can also, when you're first getting started, when you're first getting your bow set up for you, your feet really play a big role in how you first start shooting your bow. What we want to do is set up your feet so that you're in the correct form with your upper body and with your arms, so that you're not hitting your arm, which can be painful and again not very pleasant. And also, if you're hitting your arm, if you're hitting your sleeve with the bowstring, it affects your shot, and you're not going to be as accurate as you might be otherwise. So what we want to do is, if we're going to be shooting in this direction, you want your back foot to be parallel with that line, or perpendicular actually. So, and then your front foot, you want to be back and your toe turned out a little bit. Now this is called an open stance. And what it does is it takes your arm and makes a triangle with your shoulders and your arm when it's stuck out. If you've got your feet turned in this direction, you can see you have to sort of look over your shoulder, and your shoulder turns in to make it aim. And so it's going to put your arm in the way, it's going to put your shoulder up, and you're just not looking in the direction that you're going to shoot. So we're going to start with that. And when you're first getting started, you don't remember all this stuff. So, just remember a few of these and just work on those while you're getting started. And so you can, start to shoot the bow and have fun shooting the bow. Because that's what we want to do. We want to have fun when we're shooting. So now we're going to just basically put the bow up level. There we go. And you want to push and pull on the bow to get started. And we're just going to, we haven't set this bow at all yet, and so we're just going to pull it. What we've got here is a release that won't shoot, so we're going to be safe when we're doing that. So we're going to pull the bow and go ahead and try to give it a pull. And you can see, again, we haven't started the draw length process on this bow at all, and it's just a lot short. It's very short. So we're going to take those measurements. We're going to get an idea here of where we're at, and we're going to reset the bow and pull it again. Okay, so here we go. We're back. We've made the draw length changes. Alex has got her feet set. We've got the form going, and we've talked a little bit about how to hold the bow and how to draw the bow. And so we're going to check and see how we did with our changes. So you can draw the bow and get ready. You can see that a couple of things that we checked. The draw length looks really good. Her back elbow is not drastically around this way. It's sort of in line with the arrow. It's not drastically pulled around to the back, so the draw length's not too long. We're not going to make her stand here too much longer, so go ahead and let it down. And so you can see that that was drastically better than where we started. We measured, we did the measurement, we changed the draw on the bow, which is very simple with this particular bow. We sort of went through just a couple of really easy things. We talked about setting your feet. We talked about, hand position. We talked sort of about how to draw the bow. We don't want too much weight when you get started. You don't want to overbow yourself. You don't want to have too long a draw length. So we're going to check that one more time, just so we make sure that we're really in the ballpark there. And you can again see that that drew right back to the same spot. Shoulders, everything's in really good position. And so you can go ahead and let that down. Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to, of course, get in a safe spot, get in, front of a target, and we're going to put a measuring arrow in the bow and get an appropriate length for the arrows before we cut them. We've kind of gotten all the other stuff out of the way, and this is sort of the last step when you're getting your arrows set up, is get the draw length right, and then just use something like this draw length indicator arrow and get a length on the arrows, and we'll cut those. So here we go. We've gotten everything set up. We've got Alex ready to go. We've cut her arrows. We've added some points to those. I just want to thank her for going along with this this morning. We actually just kind of she walked in and we kind of said, "Hey, do you want to be in a video?" And she was very kind and gracious and agreed. And I just wanted to thank her. And also just to say, we've set this, we've gotten the process started, we've worked on a couple of things, I basically told her to come back in and we could check it, go over it again. None of this stuff is set in stone. As I always say, there's several ways to do the fitting, and there's several ways to look at it. And so, if some of this doesn't work out for her, we'll go through the whole process again, and we'll do it till we get it right. And so, again, I just wanted to thank her, and she's been a really good sport here this morning. That'll finish up this tech tip for high performance archery and real hot outdoors. We'll see you at the next one.